Thank you very much, Ming Shu. Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure today to be the Toastmaster of the day. And for the benefits of the guests, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. First, we'll have the prepared speeches, and then we'll have the table topics where members will practice impromptu speaking. And the third round of the meeting will be about evaluation, where the speeches will be evaluated and also other aspects of the meeting. Our meeting today, the theme is calling all cooks, which is actually the title of a famous cookbook. So this gave us the opportunity to talk about something that is unique to human beings, which is cooking. I personally love cooking because I'm a foodie first, and also because it helps me relax. So you can find me cooking at 11 p.m., not because I'm hungry, but just because I want to take a break and to relax. So I asked our speakers and also the table topics master and general evaluator to share with us a dish they love cooking or eating, and we'll hear from them soon. At every meeting we have functionaries, aka the tag team, tag like timer, accounter, and grammarian. I would like to give the floor first to the timer Ming Shu, who will tell us about his role.
Hello everyone, I'm the timer tonight. Hello everyone, I'm the timer tonight. I will keep recording the time that everyone used. For prepared speech, each person have 5 to 7 minutes to give a speech. In 5 minutes, I will show the green background. In the 6 minutes, I will show the yellow background. And in the 7 minutes, I will show the red background. Then everyone have 30 more seconds to finish. Yeah, go back to you, Toastmaster, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ming Shu. The second functionary is the R counter, who is today Destin.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My role as an R counter today is to count the number of unnecessary sounds or repetitive or filler words that you may use or people may use when they are speaking on stage. And I will be observing and taking note of those words such as you know, like, so. Then I will give my report at the end. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Destin. The third functionary is Khadija, who will be our grammarian. She recently joined the club, so welcome to Tigertales, Khadija. And she will be our grammarian today.
Hello everybody, my name is Hadija and I will be your grammarian for today. The word of the day is delightful. I'll be checking and looking to make sure that everybody uses this word. Please use the word. The meaning of delightful is giving great pleasure or delight, highly pleasing. A good example would be, it has been such a delightful day because the sun was out and it was beautiful outside. So delightful, pleasure. I'll be looking at this, and by the end of the day, I will give my report on people that use the word and words that I enjoyed throughout the meeting. So please, guys, delightful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hadija. Now we are going to move on to the prepared speeches. And our first speaker today is Pritam. And evaluating Pritam today is Sarah. Sarah, what should we know about Pritam's speech?
Hello, everyone. What I can tell you about Pritam's speech is that it is going to be amazing. I did ask him what he's working on. I did not get a response. I'm going to just take a wild guess that he's working on his international speech, but regardless, I can guarantee it will be fantastic. and I will point out anything that could be improved as well as all the amazing things that he does.
Thank you very much, Sarah. So I asked Pritam if there is a dish he loves cooking or eating, and he told me that he loves biryani, which is a famous Indian dish. He is giving a speech today, which title is "The Greatest Gift." The greatest gift, Pritam.
Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation today. Today I'm going to talk to you about the photonic curing of copper nanoparticle inks and how the conductivity and resistivity of those copper nanoparticle inks are affected by a pulsed photonic light. That is how I had spoken at my master's thesis defense for 1 hour. At the end of my presentation, my professor came to me and said, Pritam, what a delightful presentation. But what was the story? I thought, I am sharing my research. I'm not telling a story. My professor said, well, Pritam, if you want people to understand your research, you have to tell it as a story. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and any distinguished guest we might have. At that point, I did what any responsible student would do. I freaked out. If these people could not understand my master's research without a story, I was about to start a PhD. I needed to learn how to tell a story. I searched everywhere where I could learn that amazing skill. And I came across a group of people known as Toastmasters. These people were crazy about telling stories. They prepared with their mentors days in advance before telling their story. In the club meetings, they even did impromptu storytelling, something called table topics. However, what I liked most about these people was that they were willing to come down at a level of someone like me, who was handicapped in storytelling, and teach me this skill. There I met my mentor, Matt, a tall, thin man with a few graying hairs. I asked Matt, why do people want to listen to a story? Matt said, Pritam, it's very simple. It is the greatest gift you can give to someone. How can a story be a greatest gift, Matt? Well, stories have a unique way of building connections with people. Through your struggles, your challenges, and your victories, people can empathize with you. They see that if you can do it, they can also do it. Needless to say, I did not understand anything what Matt was saying. However, I listened to his stories for a number of days, and I saw that stories have that ability. Stories have almost a divine quality to impact, influence, and energize people. And I got impacted. As a researcher, I was researching a lot of crazy topics. I did not know how to share that with people. I learned how to share my research as a story. One of the research I was doing at that time was how squatting down can help people poop better. I applied for a TEDx talk, which is a platform where ideas worth sharing are talked about. I got accepted and I went there and shared my story. Within a few days, 5 people called me and said that they had bought squatty potties to squat and it was helping them poop more comfortably. Now I was fired up. I wanted to share all the research I had done. Another research I was doing was about urine therapy. Now you might not know this, but urine is also used as medicine, which includes applying it on the skin and drinking it. I wanted to share that story. People laughed at me, but hey, I did not care. I was impacting people. As I had applied for another TEDx talk, I heard a story that stopped me in my tracks. I was not prepared for that. My brother called me and told me, our father has passed away. I broke down. I did not know if I ever wanted to share any more stories. When I wanted to share my story, something had happened in my own story, which made me lose the ground beneath my feet. But Matt told me, Preetam, remember your story is the greatest gift you can give to others. I listened to Matt, and after I came back from my father's funeral, I went ahead and shared the story of urine therapy. A few months later, I get a call. This is a man who calls me and says, hey, Preetam, do you think urine therapy can help my father? I asked, what happened to your father? He said, my father is 70 years old and is suffering from cancer. The doctors said that they cannot do anything for him. Can you share your story? I told him my story. And I followed up with him a few months back. I got to learn that his father had been put on urine therapy and was actually improving. While in my story, my own father had passed away, just continuing to share my story allowed someone else's father to live. Friends, your story is the greatest gift you can give to the world. You never know who you are going to help. Your stories have a divine quality to impact, influence, and energize people. Will you share your story, Mr. Toastmaster?
Thank you very much, Pritam, for this delightful and inspiring speech. Now we are going to take 1 minute to send a love note to Pritam. Mr. Timer.
Yeah, sure. Time's up.
Thank you very much, Mingsho. Our second speaker today is Bhakti, our club president. And evaluating Bhakti is Ruchi. Please help me welcome Ruchi.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Bhakti will be giving us today a level 3 speech on presentation mastery. Her project today is using vocal variety, so she will be focusing on the elements like pitch and tone. As usual, we are looking forward to one of the most delightful speeches by you, Bhakti. Over to you, Hasan.
Thank you very much, Ruchi. I also asked Bhakti if there is a dish she loves making or eating, and she told me pav bhaji. I hope I got the pronunciation right. It's a mushy mixture of vegetables, and when cooked properly with the right amount of spices, it's heaven. Bhakti's speech is get random, Bhakti.
Recently, one of my roommates moved out, and she used to pay our electricity bill, and I used to pay my half of the amount to her. But now that she is gone, this responsibility falls on me. So I asked her for her credentials. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcomed guest. Seeing this credential was the most frustrating thing in my life. I thought 2020 was the worst we have seen, and I did not think that this year could get any worse. You wanna know why? Because her password was her name and her birth date. How obvious can it get? Do any one of you here have a password set like this? Hopefully, no one raised their hand. And I hope that people have learned from numerous online epidemics we have witnessed over the years. There are hacks happening every single day. But I'm not going to lie, when Ashley Madison was hacked, I thought it was pretty funny. For those of you who don't know what Ashley Madison was, it was a website which was designed for cheating on your partner. So, when the website was hacked and the data was leaked, the divorce rate around the globe suddenly increased. And you can guess why. But there are so many organizations today that get attacked digitally, and you don't realize the consequence till it happens to you. Now, I agree, true privacy is not achievable in today's digital world. But people today want to know what you're doing, when you're doing, how you're doing, all the time. Social media has enabled this behavior, but privacy is still your right. And bad guys are still lurking around the corner. Your personal information, such as your email ID, phone number, and government IDs such as social security number, is worth a lot of money to these guys. I just stated a very tiny list of your personal information, but you can imagine what this list includes. And there is a very simple step to protect your information, starting with your password. Now, if you have ever visited a reputable website, you get this message. Your password must contain numbers, upper and lowercase alphabet, special characters. And there is a reason for this. The more complex your password, the harder it is to crack. Have a look at this chart. It states the time it takes to crack your password based on the number of characters used and how different the characters are. I really want you to take a look at this chart. But Bhakti, how will I remember such a complex password? The simple answer, just memorize it. Or you can do what I do. Pick a random phrase that makes sense to you. Now don't pick something obvious such as, my name is Bhakti and I am 25 years old. Pick something like this. What is your vocation? To be a good person? Do your job. Now from this random phrase, pick the first letter from each word. For example, W from what, I from is, etc. And once you have this, just get creative. Change some of the letters to numbers, characters, etc. For example, in this, I changed I to 1 because I looks like 1. I changed T to a plus sign because it looks like a plus sign. There are so many ways to get creative. And now this sensible sentence is suddenly a garbage password. Bhakti, this was such a random phrase with a random font and random images. Yes, people, you need to get as random as possible and not something obvious like your name and your birth date. Step number 2, security questions. Now, some websites will ask you to answer certain security questions in event that you forget your password or some suspicious activity has been detected on your account. Answer this security question, but not truthfully. If they ask you, what is your place of birth? Instead of answering Berlin, Germany, answer Wakanda. What is your mother's maiden name? Instead of answering Sarah, answer Winnie the Pooh. Again, get as random as possible because in the age of social media, the most obvious information about you is being broadcasted widely. And the bad guys actually go through this information to crack open your private details. So if you get random, the hacker might just give up on you and you might thank me because I just saved your life. So if you have an embarrassing video of you dancing to Queen, it may not get leaked if you take the steps that I just suggested. And no, I don't have any embarrassing video of me. Just take the steps I listed today, and you might have a delightful day, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Bhakti, for this speech, and thank you for saving our lives. Now we are going to take just 1 minute to send also a love note to Bhakti.
Time's up.
Thank you very much, Mingshu. Now we are going to move on to the second round of the meeting, which is table topics. And our table topics master today is Christine. I also asked Christine which dish she loves cooking or just eating. She told me that she doesn't have really a favorite dish. It depends on her mood. She loves cooking, especially when her husband helps. But she also enjoys baking, especially the sneaker doodles. Please me welcome our table topics master of the day, Christine.
Greetings, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the Topics Master is to facilitate table topics where you have the opportunity to practice impromptu speaking. I will introduce a topic and hope that you'll volunteer to speak on that topic. We have 2 rules. Mr. Timer, would you explain the rules for table topics?
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. For table topic, everyone have one to 2 minutes to give a presentation. In 1 minute, I will show the green background. In 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will show the yellow background. And in 2 minutes, I will show the red background. Then everyone have 30 more seconds to finish it. Yeah. Go back to you, Madam Table Topic Toastmaster.
Thank you. Madam Grammarian, would you explain the rules for table topics?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Toastmaster. So, the rules. You have to try and use the word delightful in your statement. Meaning of delightful, given great pleasure or delight, highly, something that's highly pleasing. Example, it has been such a delightful day because the sun was out and it was beautiful outside. Now, if you use this word, you're gonna get a virtual award. So make sure you use delightful. Hopefully it's not flipped, but you guys can see it. Delightful,
okay.
it's in red and it's bold. Delightful. Thank you. Hand it over back.
Thank you. So remember to use the word of the day, delightful, and stay within your time so you can qualify to win our virtual chocolate. Can I have a raise of hands of anyone who would like to answer the first question? Kelly. The question I have for you, if you were to open a business, what business would you open and why?
This is an easy question. If I were to open a business, it would be a dance studio. I love to dance, and I think I would make it a little bit more creative than your average dance studio because I've taken a variety of different kind of dances in the past, ranging from ballet to jazz to tap to modern to ballroom dancing. There's such a variety of dance out there today. But one type of dance that I learned about was when I tried out for something called So You Think You Can Dance, which is a program on TV that they used to show and still do. And they had a category called, oh gosh, now I can't remember what it was called. It was called free dance. So basically you make up any kind of dance that comes to you. And it's a creative way to be able to show your expressions that you're feeling. And I really liked it because it brought out people's emotions. It's a way to be able to express yourself in a way that you can speak to others and without using words. So it would be Kelly's Dance Freedom Studio. And you would be able to come and dance any type of dance you want to do, and we would record it and put it all over YouTube. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
I think I would come and join your studio. Can I have a raise of hands of, oh, Robert? My question to you is, when you were a child, you couldn't wait to grow up. Tell me the reasons you couldn't wait to be an adult, and was it what you imagined?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madam Table Topic Toastmaster. Yes, when I was a child, I couldn't wait to grow up, to become an adult. And the reason is pretty silly, but now it wasn't that way back in the day. So when I was a child, the one thing I wanted the most was to have a freedom of movement, to go everywhere I wanted to go out anytime as I wish, to have a wonderful time with my friends without watching on my wrist what time it is to get home. All of that in the same time. So I just was focused on getting that freedom so badly that I just, every time I had like +1 year, I will just remind to my uncle that in less than 5 years, I will be an adult, so he cannot retain me from going where I wanted anymore. But then I became an adult and I just figured out all by myself that having such a huge freedom comes with a price. You need to take the responsibility for your own mistakes. It is not just everyone taking responsibility for what you're doing and just finding apology for you anymore. It was a completely different story. So I guess the reasons were not what I was. It is not what I am the proudest of, I can say. Thank you.
Can I have a raise of hands of anyone else who'd like to answer a question? Xavier?
Hold up, I gotta clap for myself.
So for your question, our lives all changed during the COVID pandemic. Things we were used to doing, we were no longer able to do. With life becoming a little more normal, what is one thing you are not looking forward to doing again?
Whoa. Okay, Madam Toastmaster. Or Table Topics Master. That is one excellent question, because I tell you what, I've only been getting very excited for all the things that I am about to do. I was kind of dancing on Sunday night when I finally got a vaccine appointment, because for the first time in a while, it felt real. Like everyone's getting this vaccine, we're about to be free. And the biggest thing is getting that mask off. If I can help it, I am looking forward to never wearing a mask again once we're done with this, you know? If history serves right, this will be the only pandemic I'll go through, which would be awesome. But the things that I'm not looking forward to, I hope that was the question. Yes, thank you. I am not looking forward to. Nope, it's everything. I'm just looking forward to everything new, to the freedom, people to stop dying, at least of COVID, and the freedom to go outside without a mask, to work in the office without a mask, I just like my life too much, and if it could be mask free, that would be delightful. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Anyone else? Raise of hands of another question? We have a tie. Khadijah?
Sorry.
All right, for your question. If you were able to create a product and sell it online, what product would it be and what would it be used for?
That's a very, very interesting one. I feel like if I was to create a product, I think it would be something that would stop people from feeling anxiety. Because you know, anxiety is somewhere like when your heart is beating really fast and then you just start having like hyperventilated and you just start breathing and breathing and breathing fast. I feel like that product will probably be something that you can take or you can hold that would just make you feel better about yourself and then make you have like a delightful day because you had that product in your hand. Just hold it and you just like magic. So I don't know what's gonna look like, but it has to be something that you can hold and then your anxiety will just go away. Your heart rate will just calm down on its own. And then it doesn't have to be meds, not meds at all. You don't have to drink it. We just have to hold it with your hand, and then your heart rate will just go down. And then, my anxiety is gone. So I think that would definitely be a product that I would love to create because I feel like if people didn't have anxiety, the world would be unstoppable. Like literally, we'll probably be living in 2 planets by now. Like everybody will be everywhere. So yeah, I think I definitely think that product will sell. People will buy it. I'm sure all of you will buy that product because then you're gonna be unstoppable and you're gonna be strong in your life and have a delightful life. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for a few more questions. Mingshu, I think you had raised your hand. All right, so my question for you, if you had the opportunity to meet one person, any person, who would it be and why?
Thank you. Okay, I like this question. If I want to meet a person, first, this person must be a admire person. So I want to meet with the Dwayne Wade. This is the idol in my mind. You will know that he was the top NBA star player, and he made a legend in Miami Heat. His team. He's very tough, and he comes from a very poor family, but he practiced very hard to get the position in the middle school, then go to university school, then go to the NBA league. He's always inspired me, encouraged me. If I feel tired, I will think about his story. Then his spirit will encourage me. I feel more energetic to continue working, to challenge myself, and I'm very proud that I know this person. Also, if there's really a possibility, I want to meet him very badly, and also I drew a lot of pictures for him, and I think having an idol in mind is very delightful process. It's very important to my life, and I believe everyone has this very important process. Yeah, back to you. Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Sam.
Yes.
Last question. The question for you. Spring is fast approaching. Tell me something you're looking forward to doing this spring that you were not able to do last year.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and special guests, one thing I'm looking forward to this spring that I was not able to do in the past was hiking. And the previous year, I was hiking with the Boy Scouts, and then a friend of mine recruited me to hike in the Wellsville 25K. At first, I was a little terrified, but I was so delighted that I was able to complete a 25K. Unfortunately, with COVID, they turned into a virtual 25K. And what I'm looking forward to this year is to get out there and start training, because trying to work out at a gym with a mask on is not so delightful. So now I am looking forward to, in August timeframe, to go down and do this 25K hike. But the cool thing is not just that we get a lot of swag, but when you're done, you get to change in a nice, delightful bar and a stall. And then when you're kind of cleaned up, best you can in a stall, they have all kinds of food to eat. All you can eat, a matter of fact. And they have a local brewery come in and have something on tap to help you wash it down. I'm not much of a drinker, but washing that down with the local brew was so delightful. I forgot about all the aches and the pains that I had from marching up and down the mountains every 25,000 kilometers. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Timer. How did everyone do? Were we on time?
Yeah, everyone was on time.
Great. And Grammarian. Did everyone use the word of the day?
I heard it from everyone except for Kelly and Robert. And Sam, you actually used it more than once. He used it 4 times. That's great. Thank you for that, Sam.
So out of our 6 speakers, we had 4 that qualified for the virtual chocolates. Would the Zoom master please add the polling feature?